Your fear of rejection when you're cold calling is probably the thing that is holding you back the most. It's not your technique, it's not your voice, it's not your accent, it's not what you're selling. It's probably the confidence that you come at the call with because you're scared of getting rejected. My name is Alex. I've done more than 30,000 cold approaches face-to-face and on the phone with businesses. And on this channel, we talk about cold calling and generating sales. I have a couple of things that I can tell you now that will twist your fear of rejection into something which is harming you, into something which is going to be benefiting you. The first one is that we have to look and we have to convince you that the emotional damage you feel when someone says no to you on the phone is not physical damage. Emotional damage from being told no on the phone is just emotional damage. You choose how you want to react to it. So let's think about what actually happens to you if someone says no to you on the phone. Hello, would you like a website? No, okay, bang. What's happened to me? Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? No. I've been told no by a client, a potential client. How many are there? Millions. If you're in a very small industry and you've got maybe 10 people you need to call, being told no is probably a bit more damaging. But that's not what most of us are doing here, right? So what's actually happened when this person's told me no? Nothing. I've not been physically hurt. I just move on, okay? Emotional damage is not physical damage. And your fear of rejection is irrational because nothing is going to happen to you if someone tells you no on the phone. You just move on. And that brings me to the second point, which is you should by now know your ratio. Your ratio is how many no's before you get a yes on average. And that's not, I've spent 10 minutes calling and then I got a yes, okay, my ratio is 1 in 3. Your ratio for now is, but your actual ratio is calculated over hundreds and hundreds, possibly thousands of cold calls. It's a constantly updating metric and you're constantly trying to beat it. The reason you need such large numbers is because the average, it works on average. It works on average. Yeah. And the reason you want your ratio is so that this fear of rejection, of being told no, gets flipped. And now you're actively looking for the rejection because you know you've only got to get 9 more no's before you get a yes. And that's the real power of a ratio, of getting your ratio, is knowing I only need 9 more no's and I'm probably going to get a yes. There's a book, a really great sales book called Go for No. I highly recommend reading that. It talks about this in depth. Is when you're on a roll, you shouldn't stop. Yeah, you shouldn't stop going once you've got a couple of yeses. You should keep going until you reach a fixed number of no's. Fixed number of rejections. So this is saying actively search for rejections. And that's because emotional damage is not physical damage. Once you know your ratio, the more no's you get, the closer you get to a yes. I'm Alex. I've done 30,000 cold approaches with businesses and cold calls. If you want to learn how to cold call and get really in-depth, nitty-gritty help, the first link in the description is a course I've made on this. There's a bunch of niches you can call. There's individual tactics, how you start the conversation. It's really high quality. The first link is super high quality. The first link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.